Hello everyone, what is up? Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today we're going to be talking about what's happening with XRP and the XRP community. Now, we could see XRP is already at 20 cents. It's fluctuating at least, but let's jump right into news. Today we have some spicy news to get through. By the way guys, the Discord link is down in the description below, so if you guys can join out, that would be much appreciated. But let's jump right into news. Boy XRP tweeted out, it can happen either slow or quick. There is no room for Bitcoin in the, as Brad puts it, New World Order. Wake up at crypto. So let's watch this video.
To understand what is in store for this new decade, we need only look to the controllers who have shaped the last century. Let's begin with the central banks. The central banks have become obsessed with two objectives. As Zero Hedge points out, one of these objectives is climate change. The other is blockchain technology and the digitization of currency or assets. These two facts become apparent when you visit the websites and or social media accounts of the global financial institutions, whether it's the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, or the Bank for International Settlements. These global central banks are considered to be the central banks of central banks, the movers and shakers. In other words, each and every country which has its own central bank, the equivalent to the Federal Reserve in the United States or the European Central Bank in Europe, all report back to these institutions, and none of them are government institutions. These are privately owned banks, which control their hosting nation's currency and their monetary policy. As we begin to examine these central banks' publications, like the report just published by the IMF titled 50 Shades of Green, written by the Governor of the Bank of England, Mark Carney, the point of view, as they call it, or the agenda, quickly becomes apparent. The world needs a new sustainable financial system to stop runaway climate change. There are key takeaways from this document, which openly signal the dawn of a new era. Carney clearly states that a new financial system is already under construction, and this new financial system is already funding initiatives and innovation in the private sector, implying a clear distinction or separation between the new financial system and the private sector. Although this private sector, which is being financed by this new sustainable financial system, is working in concert with governments to enhance their climate policies, with a stated goal of reaching a net zero carbon economy globally in the not too distant future.
Net zero. So that's quite interesting because I've heard about, climate change a lot and in the financial, system. I've been hearing a lot of climate change this, climate change that, and it's all coming to plan. Really, everyone's talking about climate change, and then Ripple XRP just comes through. We have is from Ian Northing. The job profile of a block architect at one of the world's largest banks, HSBC, is currently fueling rumors that HSBC is considering using Ripple's technology. Rumors: will HSBC soon use Ripple XRP? HSBC has already praised the potential of Ripple and XRP in the past. They do use it, which I'm pretty sure they will. And 2020 is a huge year. Will they soon use Ripple XRP? And we've been hearing a lot of tweets and from the riddlers, which we have a lot of information in the later tweets that this month something huge should happen. So we'll have to see about that. Next tweet is from Mac Attack. Ripple's plans massive 2020 expansion in Brazil. Ripple, however, intends to expand beyond Brazil into other South American countries like Argentina, Peru, Chile, etc. More corridors. Now, we could see here, popular blockchain payments firm Ripple, according to several reports, is planning a massive expansion into Brazil. So, that's very good. That's very good news. We're going to be hearing these types of news more and more often, in this year, especially this year, 2020, expansion in Brazil. Plus, they want to go into other, South American countries like Argentina, Peru, and Chile. So, they're connecting all these countries, and nations together into one system, the quantum financial system. Quite interesting. He once again tweeted out, Ripple Effect, the biggest companies that began supporting XRP in 2019. XRP gained a significant amount of enterprise support in 2019. Ripple sparked controversy throughout 2019 for its alleged control of XRP. See here in 2019 was the connectivity. It was connecting. It was trying to get like all these, support from the big firms, banks. 2019, we've seen so many big, players come into play and talked about, or didn't really say XRP towards, a new quantum financial system. So really, this year we should see something crazy happen in the start of a new decade. So that's going to be quite fascinating of what happens. The Ascent tweeted out, XRP hits $7,308 in a 1 minute candle seen on the daily chart on Coinbase. Just another, in quotations, glitch. Now, I do not know if this is, real. It was posted on January 4th, 2020. Now, if this is real, for a couple seconds, imagine you sold. I don't even know if you could have sold at that price, but imagine if you did sell. But 7.3, dude, is this real or fake or what? I'm not too sure. And then it crashed all the way back down to 19 cents. So that's quite, interesting to see why, if just in quotations, glitch. In central bank, Lagarde discussed topics including a new policy mix for Europe, the need to bring the ECB closer to people, climate change, low rates, and cryptocurrencies. You see, okay, now we're connecting the dots at this point. They literally tweeted out climate change. Where is that? Climate change, low rates, and cryptocurrencies. Remember, net zero carbon fiber, XRP. Wow, it's all connecting. Actually, it's all connecting. Next tweet is from Roses on the Moon. David Schwartz, CTO of Ripple, compares XRP to Bitcoin. Let's watch this video.
And I think the focus should be on the use case. The crypto markets tend to show tokens rising or falling as a unit. There doesn't seem to be that much distinguishing in the price. But I think in terms of the long-term success of these projects, they have to have some sort of a real use case. And it's not enough to say smart contracts, like smart contracts for what? It's not enough to say Internet of Things, like what specific Internet of Things are you doing? Cloud storage, anonymous transactions, all these different use cases. And again, we think they all come back to payments. So fiat currencies are backed by governments. Governments ensure their scarcity and value. Digital assets, of course, are not backed by governments. They're backed by cryptographic algorithms. And what I mean by that is that their scarcity and value is ensured by cryptographic algorithms. Bitcoin uses proof of work. Ethereum, as you know, proof of work. Although Ethereum is now switching to proof of stake, they encountered some of the obstacles with proof of work. XRP uses a different algorithm that we call consensus. And I have to back up 1 second here and just point out what this algorithm is doing is solving exactly one problem, and that's it. Every other problem we can solve just by having all the data open, so you don't have to worry about trusting someone else to know whether or not someone has the funds for a transaction. Everybody knows the transaction validity rules. They know the digital signature algorithms. You don't have to trust someone else to tell you if a transaction is valid. The only issue that you can't solve by everybody enforcing every rule is ordering transactions. You can have conflicting transactions where someone tries to send the same asset to 2 different people, and you need some rule to order 2 valid but conflicting transactions received at about the same time. That's all consensus does. So that is something that nobody should particularly care about anyway. It's deep in the plumbing. It just has to work. Just like if you want to spend Bitcoin, you don't care about mining.
Plumbing.
It just has to work. It's the same thing. It's just that way of resolving the double spend problem. And because we resolve the double spend problem in a more efficient way that's more cooperative than competitive, we have significantly better performance metrics than many other digital assets.
We could see there, Bitcoin and XRP, 1 hour to settle, 3 seconds to settle, banks. It's right there, guys. It's right in front of your guys' eyes. Bit4Coins tweeted out, President Xi blockchain strategy unfolds as China Exim Bank executes cross-border payments using new tech. The Export-Import Bank of China has completed its first exchange payment using blockchain platform, making another milestone in the history books or something. But we could see here cross-border payment using new tech, which is blockchain platform. Most likely, hopefully, XRP. Really, we're seeing a lot of cross-border payments, news and articles coming out. And, there's only a couple coins that actually do that. And the main coin out of all these other coins is XRP that I could think of. They're working with banks, a lot of partnerships, a lot of connectivity. Everything's really going to plan. You could see the, future at that point. David Schwartz tweeted out, always check a navigation chart carefully before dropping anchor. Now, as soon as I see this, I investigate what is happening in this picture. We see sound, we see unexplored depth charge, ED Sep 14, 1957. We see whistle, we see all these lines and everything. This is crazy. But if we go down, QSR tweeted out, Sep 14, 1957 was Saturday, dropping anchor on unexploded depth charge. AD 54.9 today. Charge exploding if from today until Saturday. Crazy Ivan theory. And then plus everyone else is, making, like, saying stuff. But, who knows what this tweet actually means. I swear, David Schwartz literally posts, I'm not going to say random, but like a lot of different pictures, from different places. It's quite interesting, the way he thinks. Next tweet is from Jack the Rippler. We could see here, 1997, The Simpsons predicted crypto. I wouldn't say predicted. Everything's planned, guys. Everything's planned. Crypto. A place for codes. Quite interesting. He once again stated, Simpsons episode just showed Mr. Burns getting a card that allowed him to go live like a king and buy anything anywhere with no limit. Logo on the box looks familiar. That looks like Binance in my opinion. I don't know, guys. Wow. Plans on plans on plans on plans. Next tweet is from Richard. From my vantage point as CTO of R3, 2019 was a year of deployment, where countless firms were hard at work, quietly, steadily, but resentfully, fighting in their trenches to bring their solutions live. 2020 is where the world will see results. Oh my gosh. He literally is stating it right here, guys. Oh my gosh. Work quietly, steadily, but resentfully, fighting in the trenches to bring their solutions live. 2020 is the world will see the results. So in 2019, they're working silently and quietly. 2020 will shock the world, guys. It's going to be, he said it right there. Now, guys, we're into the fun part of XRP and the XRP community. I'm obviously not a financial advisor. You guys should do your own research on any topic, but this is quite interesting. Fire explosions at Dorset tweeted out. Also, January 10th has Friday, which leads to Kirichiro controversial $50 XRP. We could see here. Today will hit $50. So tomorrow, I've been hearing a lot of tomorrow, Friday, January 10th, guys. So this is going to be insane what happens. Ripple and R3 team up with 12 banks to trial for cross-border payments. So we'll have to see what happens at this point. Tomorrow, I've been hearing lots of tomorrow. Funny Teacup suited out. It all started on 12/28 with the erratic XRP prices. Then on 1/3, Iran general gets whacked. We'll see what happens this Friday. I'm betting financial deep freeze. This Friday, guys, 1/10, 1/3, 12/28. Everything's connecting, guys. We'll have to see what happens. Next tweet is from Crypto Amigo. He tweeted out 10 is binary 1010. 1010 binary to decimals 10. 10 from binary to decimals 2. 2 times 1010 equal 2020. 1980 economist article indicated 2018 as the rise of one world currency. So, and then BG QAnon dropping clues with the 2-year delta. Happy New Year's. Guys, 2020, guys, 2020. Reborn tweeted out XRP community important upcoming dates. January 10th, BG full moon open. Pluto 37-year cycle ends. January 13, Fed now CB payments. January 14, repo terms ends. January 15, US-China trade deal. January 25th, Chinese New Year. January 30th, announcement. Any more? So, guys, the trading week between January 13 and January 17 is the time of the greatest probability that the situation in the financial markets will burst into a full crisis, which will lead towards the meltdown of the current financial system. Man, I'm so excited what's going to happen in the upcoming weeks. Let's see if all this actually does come into play. It'll be insane. Now, guys, Mr. Poole comes into the play. He tweeted out a couple interesting tweets. We'll have to see. First tweet is 99.1%. Next tweet is 99.2%. Now, if we go down here, CMC tweeted out, Moon 99.2%, waxing gibbous. We could see here. So unless I'm pretty sure when it hits 100%, something crazy happens. But then the last tweet for today's video we have is this. This is a wolf, guys. I seen it because Hop tweeted out this. So we can see here wolf pictures. What does this mean? Tomorrow is the wolf moon. Wow. Everything is hinting towards tomorrow, guys. but who knows what's going to happen. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a like. I'll see you guys in my next video. Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day, and yeah guys, see ya.